Okay guys, so here we have a used Fram Ultra Synthetic oil filter. This particular model was used with Mobil 1 synthetic oil 0W40, and I ran approximately 7,000 miles on this particular filter. So we're gonna just gonna look at the outside of it for now, kind of have a look and see how it held up over the time. So nothing really wrong with it. The rubber seal is still intact. Everything looks okay. The oil, as you could tell, that was changed out of it recently, is not that dirty. It's in relatively good condition. So what I'm going to do from here on is we're basically going to try to cut this filter open, and we're going to try to see how dirty the actual element inside is. The reason is I usually don't use the filters for their maximum guaranteed lifespan, and this particular model was guaranteed up to 15,000 miles. So we're just going to see the amount of sediment that was built up over the actual amount of miles that I used this filter for, which is about half of its guaranteed amount. Okay, so I just finished cutting the filter apart. It wasn't that much work. The best way to do it, from what I understand, is to take a metal saw like this and to basically just cut on the outside of this filter. It'll go all the way around and this can will just come off in a single piece like this. So let's first look at the can. In terms of the thickness of the can, it's fairly thin, does a good enough job. Don't know how this compares to cheaper filters. From my opinion, it would be thicker, obviously, but I could easily squeeze it like so with my hand. It's fairly flexible, and that's what it really has to do. That's what the oil inside looks like. In terms of the actual filter element, let's look at it closer. So I could see, kind of fibrous specks on the outside of it. Now, that was not supposed to be there, and this is not any of the metal shavings from cutting the actual can off just now. So this looks like this is the dirt it actually picked up. Let's go all the way around it, and it's fairly uniform all around the actual filter element itself. I don't notice any kind of spots where there's more or where there's less. It looks like it's filtered fairly evenly and consistently for its life cycle here. In terms of right here on top, those are just metal shavings from cutting this thing open. So the next step, what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to cut this apart a little bit more, and we'll take a look at the actual filter element itself. So at this point I was able to pull out some of the actual filter element, and as you can tell, this one has a pretty serious metal backer unit here. It's attached to it. It's fairly complicated to rip this off. I had to use pliers here to get this to not adhere to this element anymore. But in terms of the actual filter, you could see I pretty much took it out. It's folded up into little segments like this. Now, in terms of how good of a job it did, cannot really tell you. I do think that a lot of these elements here were not supposed to be there originally, so it did clearly filter. It did do a good job. I didn't find any sediment in the oil, but I am very consistent with oil service on my car in particular. So there it is, guys. You have a look inside one of the best oil filters in the industry. This is the Fram Ultra fully synthetic filter. This particular one happens to be a smaller size, and that's only because it was used on my Smart 4 II. But here it is. Once again, guys, you could tell that it's a fairly good piece of machinery here for the amount of money. It will protect your engine, with the best of any filter out there. Alright, so here's a basic breakdown of the Fram types of filters they use. The one we're shown in this video is the one all the way on the right, the Ultra Synthetic. So you could tell that its filtration efficiency is over 99%, and it has a 2-ply synthetic metal screen reinforced filter media technology, which we definitely saw at the metal screen when we cut open the filter. So it is definitely there. This is one of the best filters you could possibly get, and it's meant to be used with synthetic motor oil.